Glenn Hall is the U.S. editor for the Wall Street Journal, joins us right now. Glenn, I know part of this idea was to think of the way government benefits and the like are handed out. If we had them done with the ease with which you can order something off of Amazon, you'd be off to the races, saving a lot of money, a lot more efficiency. People wouldn't hate government as much, et cetera. I understand all that. But is that doable? This would not be the first president whose goal has been to make government more efficient and waste less money. But what do you think?
It's a huge, huge challenge. The government report that you were just talking about that showed, of the $80 billion that is budgeted for IT each year, about 3/4 of that goes on just maintaining some of these systems. And they said 10 to 20 years. Some of these systems are as old as 50 years and are running software that is outdated and no longer used by anyone else.
Glenn, one thing I don't understand is the benefit of not being at this table. Elon Musk comes to mind. Of Tesla fame, of course. Once the president opted out of the Paris Climate Accord, he says, well, that's it. That's a deal breaker for me. I don't want to be part of this. Others have argued, yeah, we disagree with the president on this and some other issues as well, including the travel ban, but we figure better a seat at the table than no seat at all. Obviously, that is the thinking that has won out with most of them, Mr. Musk notwithstanding. But what do you make of this?
Well, generally speaking, we see our corporate chieftains try to avoid getting on one side or other of a political debate because that alienates roughly half the country if you take one side over the other. So you don't often see this kind of position taking, but at a very practical level, there's regulatory influence that you should have if you are a participant that you won't have if you're not a participant. Elon Musk in a business that's looking for alternative energy, battery power, solar power, which direction does the regulation go and which industries does it favor? Having a seat at the table matters there as well. And lastly, for some of these chieftains, there's potentially big dollars worth of government contracts to help upgrade those systems.
Do you get a sense that they're united on more things than they are divided? For example, they all want to see big tax cuts and the like. They all want regulations eased up a little bit, maybe not as aggressively as some of their CEO counterparts in other industries, but that they want to see this come to pass, especially companies like Apple that hold so much money abroad.
I think that this is one of the more CEO-friendly administrations that we've seen. By our calculations, more than 300 executives have passed through the White House to meet with the president. He's listening and he's looking for their advice. So that is a huge opportunity for all of them, and I think that that's why you see so many of them participating and so few who are standing down.
Real quickly, again, I understand going into this meeting, the president has met with 350 CEOs. Now, some of these might be redundancies and others who are returning, but we've never seen anything like this under Democratic or Republican predecessors. What is the president getting in return for that?
Well, hopefully, he's getting good ideas that he can execute, and he's going to get some better, relationships going. Part of what we're hearing out of this White House is that there's an effort to create a more entrepreneurial spirit within government and to run government like a business. And so you're seeing some of that, and there's a real opportunity for these executives to shape how this White House goes and how that culture may change for the long term.
Glenn, great catching up with you again. Glenn Hall, the Wall Street Journal U.S. editor, very big cheese there.